This is Luton, and today I want to talk to you about one of the most important tools that you need to use when playing Battlefield 3. It's not a weapon, a piece of kit or a vehicle. It's your ability in game to maintain momentum. So what we are really talking about here is the speed at which you carry on from one objective to the next. And this isn't just for rush games, it can be for conquest domination, anything that requires you to move from one objective to the next. And having strong momentum in a game is something that won't be new to people who follow my channel, as it's something I regularly talk about and I've spoken about before in my videos. But recently, having played some really objective focused rounds on my own server, one of the key things to look at in the games was the strength or the lack of momentum from teams that were playing. The reasons you want to maintain a strong successive momentum in any game are many, but they're all equally as important. For starters, moving forward quickly to your next objective will mean that potentially the enemy will not have a chance to regroup, and this means that it could be your best possible opportunity to attack and succeed at your next target. If you wait too long or spend time chasing kills, this will waste time and tickets in a game. If you leave it too long, the enemy will have then their chance to respawn and entrench themselves, digging in around an objective and making it at least twice as difficult to then overcome that position. Another good reason for maintaining momentum is the element of surprise. After one objective has been secured, there usually is a small lull, a period where people can expect to regroup and prepare themselves for whatever defensive or attacking move they want to make next. By keeping an unrelenting attack and pushing forward with strong momentum, you will not give them the opportunity to take time to assess the situation. We've all been in games where the enemy never seem to stop coming at you, so think of how this has affected those games you've played. It can mean that you have little or no time to really plan or work out how best to handle the situation, because you're too busy being overwhelmed with enemy. Pushing forward quickly also means that your opposition will have less opportunity to prepare and set up things like claymores, C4, anti-vehicle mines, and it could even prevent them from having the chance to acquire vehicles and so on. So the literal reasons, combined with the element of surprise and the suffocating effect you're trying to have on the enemy, all contribute to making your attack much stronger than it could be if you spend time waiting and taking a more softly approach. But as always, it's important to remember that this is not something that should be used at every opportunity, and as with all games you play, there will be times when taking a different approach will be very necessary. Rushing in all guns blazing is perfect in a situation where you have a strong ticket count and you can afford to throw some weight at your opposition. But if you are lower on tickets, then your survival and ability to outflank and outthink your enemy can become much more important than sheer weight of numbers. And at the end of the day, that's what Battlefield is all about, your ability to look, think and assess what needs to be done in any given moment. The time when using momentum in a game is needed can often be dictated by the map and its layout as much as how your opposing team are playing. Maps that have significant distance between the objectives, think about the second base on Grand Bazaar and Caspian Border Rush and Conquest Oman. Momentum can still play an important role in maps like this, but your ability to be able to preempt and outplay an enemy will come into effect much more. Maps though, like Karkan and Metro, can require a much harder, more aggressive style of gameplay where you're punching through the enemy line. Although I think it would be fair to say that Grand Bazaar certainly needs that style of gameplay as well. So when you're playing a game, look at your enemy. How are they playing? Are they dispersed and spread out? If so, you can probably manage to suppress and flank them at a steady rate using whatever tools are at your disposal. But if your enemy are playing tightly together, locking down kill zones and forming a tight, cooperative defense with few breaks in their line, then you'll need to make sure you use momentum in your games. It will be key in preventing them from digging into that objective, which has a strong natural advantage, and it will give you the successive sustained power you need to bring your match to a successful conclusion. So when you're next playing a round of Battlefield, don't sit back waiting for someone else to take the initiative. Push forward, keep that momentum and lead the way.